Bakker, naturopath from New Zealand. Thank you for coming back and checking out my channel. Irritable bowel syndrome. I've spoken about this a bit in the past in some of my previous videos. A doctor I know in the States, as I mentioned, you probably heard me say this, calls it a garbage can diagnosis. All right? It's where the doctor likes to put the patient in when they've had enough and they want someone else to take the problem away, if you know what I mean, okay? So it is a garbage can diagnosis. IBS means, I don't know what the hell's wrong with your gut, but there's a problem, but let's just fudge you off with whatever, okay? It might be a good name for a disease. I don't know what the hell's wrong with your problem, take this pill. It could be a great disease name, wouldn't it? We could invent that one, like we've invented so many disease names. Your body doesn't know what a disease is, all right? There's no tags on you saying, or little pop-up lights that glow saying IBS, IBS, or high blood pressure, or, okay? We don't know. We make those names up based on symptoms and signs that we find. So, over the years, many people that I've had in this room and also on Skype, who complained about irritable bowel syndrome, had a big underlying problem. I could easily say that over half of people with IBS I've seen had Candida, a yeast infection, or they had underlying a big bacterial bloom somewhere. It could have been Pseudomonas or Citrobacter, or there was some bacteria there that was just in large amounts dominating. So like a big guy in a room throwing his weight around with his big mouth and throwing punches, and some bacteria like that. They're like big crybabies, like Donald Trump, you know, big fat mouth, but there's no substance there. So many people have this kind of a problem. And of course, what does the doctor say? Well, we don't know what's wrong with you, but we know you got a bowel problem. Yeah, well, big deal. But what is the problem? Can you pinpoint it? No, take this drug and stay on this drug, you know. It's all about drugs. So if you get fobbed off with a prescription in a doctor's room within the first half an hour when you complain of a gut problem, you probably know you've either got SIBO or Candida, one of those two things. Those are the two big things that doctors usually completely miss and say, we don't know what's wrong with you. Now, of course you don't, because you're not really looking deep enough into the problem to find out what the hell it is, you know. Doctors don't really believe in functional diagnostic stool tests, apart from maybe a parasite test, and then it's a very narrow band of action. So there's a big chance there's a bug, but there's also a chance there could be leaky gut. And with leaky gut, of course, you're going to get a lot of food reactions, you know, food intolerances or food allergies. Could be infection going on in the gut, okay? Many people I've seen who've traveled, who've come back, have a problem on the right quadrant, the ileocecal valve, where the small and large intestine join. A very easy place for bacteria, yeast or parasites to hang out, especially if it's a bit tender on that right side. You know? Left side, we're thinking more diverticulitis. Little dart-like pains can wake you up at night. Right? All of these scenarios I'm talking about, I've heard people labeled as having IBS with these kinds of scenarios. So the point I'm making is you probably need checking out on a deeper level. But CanXida products work very well for a lot of people with irritable bowel syndrome. Because remember, CanXida doesn't target one thing. It targets the imbalance. Tries to get the imbalance correct with people, all right? And that's why it's important to look at the 3 CanXida products when you've got IBS. The CanXida Remove, the CanXida Restore, and the CanXida Rebuild. Each one of those 3 things has a very nice balancing effect, working together synergistically. You can read a lot more in the CanXida user guide. I believe you get one of these when you buy the CanXida products, you get a user guide. But that explains a lot about how the products work together. So many people with IBS, I would place on CanXida generally for the first 3 or 4 weeks at a low dose. 1 tablet per day maybe every second day if they have a lot of problems like headaches or things like that. And then generally I would say to them, maybe we could do a stool test. You know, that's another thing, another option. But often people want symptomatic relief as soon as they come in. So they've got 2 options: test up front, which is my preferred option, or treat up front, wait several weeks and then test. And for IBS, it works very well. Thanks for the questions and thanks for tuning in.